Halftime, Bulldog Stadium. Aggies lead it by 7. Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, Ginny Dell. You wouldn't think that the Aggies could play worse than they did in the second half against BYU. So good news is they have played much better in the first half here against the Bulldogs.
Both of these teams have played extremely well in the red zone, but it's been all about offense so far tonight. And Jordan Love, what can you say about him? It's night and day from what we saw from him a week ago. But it really started with Fresno State. They got this thing going on the ground with Ronnie Rivers. That run game was there on a 12-play drive. But then Gerald Bright said, oh, I can run the football too. And then the Aggies got it going. Rivers scored his second touchdown, but then it was the Jordan Love show, throwing 2 touchdowns to Siosi Mariner, taking advantage of those red zone opportunities, Carter. And I got to tell you, man, it's been really fun to watch Utah State start to come alive, but look at the penalty yards. I felt like the turning point in this ball game with momentum for Utah State, as we take a look at the Chick-fil-A game summary, were the 3 penalties back-to-back that gave Utah State back the ball. Love leads them down the field. Now they're up by a touchdown, about to get the ball back here to start the second half.
Well, 3 plays, so 2 TDs for Rivers, 2 TDs for Mariner. Utah State trying to win for just the 4th time in Fresno, California at Bulldog Stadium. Both teams' chances to reach a Mountain West Conference championship game, both still in play. Scarver across the 15, across the 20. Savion Scarver is wrestled down. Big tackle. There is a flag. Bryant makes a nice tackle on special teams, but we will check the flag.
Might be a horse collar.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 14 of the kicking team. 15 yards to be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Good field position then for Utah State as we check with Jenny.
Well, I spoke with Gary Anderson as he was running off the field, and he had a big smile on his face, and he was like, this is a fun football game. He said, this is what we want. This is the ability that our players should be playing up to. This is our identity. And as far as Jordan Love goes, he said, before the game, we told him to rip it, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now, adjustment for the second half, he said, defensively, we really need to handle third down better.
No question about it. And you see Jordan Love, I mean, the 2 incompletions were on 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, and then he responded with the TD pass. Only 4 incompletions in the first half. Jalen Warren with him in the backfield. Warren has a hole on the right side. He has a gain of 6, so you've snapped it once in the second half, and you're already near midfield.
Penalties once again hurting this Fresno State team. And they're a team that usually doesn't get a lot of laundry, but this is not the type of offense that you need to help out.
Love's going to step up, pressured out of the pocket. He has a first down, crossing the 50. We'll see where they spot his forward progress. And it does look like enough to move the chains. Bailey finally makes the stop. 1st and 10 Aggies.
Jordan Love showing you that he has the ability to extend plays as well. I'd really like to see Fresno State. Look at all the space between the outside receivers. They need to challenge these guys and play a little bit more uptight to disrupt the timing and disrupt the routes. They need to reroute the receivers to allow that rush to get home, because when Love has time, he's picking them apart.
We're going to Chris Gaston at corner in place of Chris Coleman. Love, here's a deep shot downfield, and it is caught inside the 25-yard line. Plenty of time to find Jalen Warren. Aggies rolling again.
It's a beautiful wheel route out of the backfield. Really extremely hard to cover if you don't have anybody dedicated to him. Just a breakdown in the coverage. Nobody takes Warren out of the backfield, and the Aggies that started at midfield are sitting here in the high red zone a couple plays later.
Gain of 26. Offensive coordinator Mike Sanford said, we've heard so much talk about the red zone. We're going to go from 30 and in and call it the go zone. So here you are in the go zone for the Aggies. That's a lateral, so a chance to toss it. Nothing doing downfield, and Tompkins is out of bounds. Sniffed out by the Bulldogs. Michael Walker was right there on Devin Tompkins.
Good coverage this time by Fresno State, but also a good job by Tompkins to not throw this ball. He wants to hit the tight end right there, rep. But Fresno State's all over it, and he wisely pulls it down and runs out of bounds.
There's Mike Sanford, offensive coordinator and QB coach. He was as frustrated with anybody's the last couple of weeks. Love on 2nd and 10, tackled from behind. Tough tackle. There's a couple. Leavell Tatum is the one who gets to Jordan Love first. Gain of 4, but Love took a pretty good pop.
One of the interesting things we were talking with Mike Sanford about Love is he felt coming down onto the field. Used to be up in the box, but down here he has a better sense of what the team's feeling, what his quarterback's feeling, and it really seems to have been making a difference tonight as we see some lollygagging Fresno State players take their time jogging off here on 3rd down.
It's all within the rules, so they're slowing it as much as they can. 3rd and 6. Love delivers, caught, but short of the first down. It is Compton who holds it in, but Evan Williams and Michael Walker there, and the offense staying out there for 4th and 1.
I love it. If you're Utah State, you're on the road, you've been humming all night. Fresno State's really had trouble stopping you. Get lined up and run the football. Trust that offensive line. And if you're the Bulldogs, you have to watch the football. You cannot afford to jump off sides here.
Only the 5th time all year Utah State goes for it on 4th down if they snap it here. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Love out of the gun on 4th and 1. Hands off. Warren has enough. Warren takes it inside the 10. 1st and goal. Aggies converting on 4th down. Rice makes the stop.
Some great blocks on that right side of the offensive line, just running their feet. The tight end got in there as well. Carson Terrell, really nice job cutting off the gaps and picking up the 1st.
Warren again, pushing, touchdown, Utah State. He rolls over Justin Rice and into the end zone.
That's a statement drive. Sorry about that, partner. Impressive for Utah State. And if you're Jeff Tedford, you got to be feeling that your defense is not applying any sort of pressure. And Utah State feeling the mojo that they lacked a week ago against their rival BYU.
Eberle.
Dominic Everly, good on the extra point. 11-01
has the PAT a 2-touchdown lead for Gary Anderson's Aggies. It was Jalen Warren with a gain of 26 on the wheel route to set him up. On the dime from Jordan Love, and on 4th and 1, it becomes 1st and goal. And Warren takes it in himself. Oh, Jalen Warren, Utah State.
80th flying training wing.
Bulldogs now trail by 2 touchdowns, in part because of very consequential penalties. These were the 3 on 3 straight plays that stalled the drive.
And this ended up bringing up a 3rd and 33 at the end of the 2nd half. So they had to punt the football away. There was a block in the back there. Back-to-back penalties by Jace Fuamatu. And those were the challenges. Then the horse collar to start this 2nd half, excuse me, the 1st half, the horse collar to start this 2nd half really gave advantageous field position to Utah State. And not too many penalties, but they've been costly when they've happened.
Eccles takes it from the end zone. Eccles drilled as he gets to the 17-yard line. I mean, he was drilled. Wow. Nawahine lays the lick. Let's take a look at our quarterback comparison brought to you by Sonic, and you would say advantage Jordan Love.
He's been outstanding, particularly on 3rd down. Look at that, 5 for 5, 45 yards. Perfect 3 for 3 in the red zone. The offense with him underneath center. Reyna hasn't been too bad in his own right. And here's an opportunity for him to get this thing going. But I think if Fresno State's going to win this game, Reyna's got to play well, but this run game has to get going like it did on the first couple drives.
Low snap handled. Ronnie Rivers, nothing much doing there. Devin Anderson on the stop. Fresno State has 6 possessions. 4 have started inside their own 20-yard line. So field position definitely in the Aggies' favor.
Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7.
Rivers has the 2 touchdowns for Fresno State.
Utah State's got a lot of bodies in the box. Fresno State adjusts, opens it up a little bit.
Turn tight ends into wide receivers in a shift. And 2nd and 7. Reyna pumps. Reyna in the pocket, wide open. Jalen Cropper. And the dangerous Jalen Cropper has that grab across the 30 to the 32, gain of 12. You know, offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb told us earlier in the year Cropper is not just a fly sweep guy. He's going to turn into a great receiver. Runs a good route here.
Yes, he does. He comes on the in-breaking route, but it's zone coverage, so he settles down in the zone, turns and shows his numbers to Reyna, who delivers the football accurately, and then Cropper gets a couple extra yards after the catch.
There is Ryan Grubb, and they really like the talent and the work ethic of Jalen Cropper. Rivers and Hokett in the backfield on 1st and 10. Reyna airs it out downfield and incomplete. Looking for the deep shot to Glaspie, just overshot him, but Haney and Bond were right there in coverage.
There was good tight coverage, and from up here I wondered if Haney had his arm on the jersey, and you take a look at that, he's pulling his jersey up off his shoulder pads. I wondered if he got grabbed, and from that look it doesn't do it. It's pretty clean, but my goodness, that was great coverage just outside the outstretched arms of Glad. There it is. There it is. I did see it. That's a nice subtle cornerback play by Cameron Haney. He had the middle of his jersey that slowed him up just enough. He got the incompletion.
So call it a good defensive play. And now a complete. Pope goes rolling across the 50. So another big gain after that missed deep shot. Across the 50 to the Utah State 49, gain of 19.
And I do call it a good play, man. It's like turnabout's fair play. When you're out there and it's physical, those things are going to happen. Let the guys play, and Haney's did a nice job of being savvy, but Reyna turns around and completes another ball and moves the sticks once again.
Bulldogs opening drive of the second half. First 6 games didn't have a touchdown. Last 2 games, 2 touchdowns. Toss it, that's Cropper. Here's Cropper on the sweep. Big block on the edge. Cropper takes it inside the 20, inside the 10. First and goal, Fresno State, into the hands of Jalen Cropper. Grayson saved the touchdown, but it's a gain of 44.
Well, Cropper's going to go here. You're going to see him rotate the safeties and come down. But it's blocked extremely well out at the perimeter. Right there, great blocks. Rice got a nice block. Rivers got a nice block. And Cropper shows you that speed. Puts the ball down inside the 5-yard line. What an amazing back-to-back set of games this young man's had. Threw a touchdown a week ago against Hawaii. He's just somebody that's special when the ball's in his hand.
Hokett will take it. First and goal. Waiting for a block. He finds it. Hokett stood up, driven back. Metzenheimer saves the touchdown by standing up Josh Hokett. Second and goal. Tonight's Red Zone brought to you by Verizon. Fresno State, 2 trips, 2 touchdowns. Both Ronnie Rivers. Now Josh Hokett trying to get his turn.
Get the feeling, Carter, that field goes down here ain't gonna get it done.
Hokett direct snap, and he will take it in. Touchdown, Fresno State. Opening drive TD for the Aggies in the second half. Opening drive touchdown for the Bulldogs. Hokett takes it himself.
I think offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb is calling a great game. And it's the back-to-back time that Fresno State has used tempo down here in the red zone to bring them within 7, assuming this PAT goes through.
Silva's PAT makes it a 7-point game again. So Reyna wanted the big one in the air to Glaspie, didn't get it. Instead, they get a big one on the ground. 44 yards from Jalen Cropper. And then Hokett, touchdown, Bulldogs.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Sonic. Enjoy a patty melt for $3.99. By CDW, people who get it. And by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Book now at bestwestern.com.
With our producer, Scott Brandwine, our director, Matt Plundo, our entire CBS Sports Network crew here in the San Joaquin Valley. Mountain West standings show you that both Fresno State and Utah State are in it, while the Aztecs and the Boise State Broncos are atop the standings especially for the Bulldogs. San Diego State's still on the schedule. I mean, they have almost the season ahead of them in defense of the Mountain West Conference Championship, but have to get off the field defensively. Now you've kicked it to Savion Scarver and covered it well. Scarver makes a couple men miss, trying to cut back, and Scarver brought down at the 11. That's one of the most dangerous returners in the country. 5 career touchdowns. He made a mistake last week versus BYU. Covered this time by the Bulldogs. Let's check with Jenny.
Well, Carter, at the half, Jeff Tedford told me that the Bulldogs will be changing up their looks in the secondary, and guys expect them to try and put more pressure on the passer in this second half.
Jenny, we saw that with the change to Chris Gaston there at corner. Chris Coleman, the converted wide receiver. Clearly the Aggies were picking on him, so Gaston now playing corner number 2. Love and the Aggies short field touchdown last time they had it. Now they'll have to drive the link. Gerald Bright across the 20 to the 23.
Gerald Bright, 22-yard line.
Utah State, these last couple drives have started out with the run game. That forces Fresno State to respond to it, who's still once again struggling to try and get themselves lined up.
Bright across the 25 to 26. So you had Jalen Warren in and running back on the last drive, and he made all of the big plays for the Aggies, including the touchdown. And now Gerald Bright. Senior is averaging 5 yards a carry. Pull it. Love looking to read it, looking to toss it deep. Wide open at the 35-yard line. Devin Tompkins, and he's lost the football. Scooped up. Aggies get on top of it. Mariner has it at the 11. And that's a good hustle play by Mariner to trail down the field on Tompkins because he lost the football.
Tompkins was wide open. You just can't get simply that wide open. But a nice job of recovering by Bryant, who forces the fumble. But to your point, Mariner hustles, gets it back.
That's a gain of 62. Bright on 1st and 10. And Bright's going to take it inside the 10. Forward progress, stop him at the 9. And finally, Ricky McCoy, Roosevelt High School here in Fresno, stops him.
Bulldogs have to find a way to get a stop here. It's 2nd and medium. Have some success here. Get yourself off. Kicking a field goal for the Aggies would feel like a victory here.
Flag down.
Illegal snap, number 58, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
We've seen the Bulldogs make some costly penalties, and this time it's Ali Afua on the offensive line that marches the Aggies in the wrong way. You have to be disciplined down here in this most important go zone.
3 for 3 red zone so far, but those are the woes that placed them in the position of last in the nation. Red zone touchdowns coming into the night. 2nd and 12. There's Bright out of the backfield inside the 15, back inside the 10. So Jones on the stop, and you get back to 3rd down after a gain of 7.
Well, we talked to the defensive coordinator, Bert Watts, yesterday. He said, I don't care what my guys do, but they have to run to the football and finish low. That time they ran to the football, finished a little bit higher, and got dragged down to create a 3rd and medium. Can they bring pressure here like we heard Jenny say a minute ago?
First 3rd down this half for either team.
Wow.
On 3rd and 5. Fake the give. Love lines up. Tosses incomplete. Dropped by Tompkins. The force 4th down. Hughes in coverage.
Wide receiver, and it is 4th down.
Love throws his football, but I thought he should have ran it. If he runs it with Rice with his back turned, he probably scores a touchdown. Just a great defensive play that time by Juju Hughes with the pass breakup, finally getting his hand on the football, and finally the Bulldogs get a stop. But I thought Josh Love could have ran that football and had a chance to score. Instead, he throws it, and they kick the field goal.
Everly from 25. I'm going to take back the word drop. That was just a great defensive play by Juju Hughes to knock it away and hold the Aggies to 3. But it's a double-digit lead on the road to Utah State. I think some sugar is involved in that dance. Thursday night, 7 Eastern. Eastern, we have action football. Buffalo takes on their division rivals Kent State on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. This consequential for Buffalo because the Bulls are sitting right now at 5 wins. So you look at the MAC standings with Miami of Ohio and Ohio on top. But Buffalo could become bowl eligible with a win over Kent State on Thursday night in the MAC. Help on the kickoff here. Or Dominic Eberle after the field goal drive, 7 plays, 79 yards. Utah State has scored on 5 of 6 drives tonight. The only other one at 3 and out. That'll be Eccles. Fair catch taken at the 25. Take a look at our top 25 scoreboard brought to you by Red Lobster. It began with Minnesota's big win over Penn State to get the college football day started. And oh, by the way, did you know that LSU beat Alabama in a shootout in Tuscaloosa?
I heard that might have been the case today. What an impressive win by both LSU and Minnesota. The Gophers for real, proving that against Penn State today. SMU got a win by the hair of their chinny chin chin, but clearly the news of the day is how the giant Alabama got throttled by the LSU Tigers.
Still to come in the Mountain West. Wyoming versus Boise State. Reyna was dropped for a loss. Cameron Haney comes up. See where they spot. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but still nothing doing on first down. Second down with a nice tackle from Haney.
The identity of this Bulldog offense is to be balanced. They've really dialed up a lot more runs.
There's Rivers slipping through the right side. Rivers, with the Aggies turning their backs. Rivers puts his foot in the ground and gets inside the 35. Shaq Bond finally makes the tackle.
Just a great job of backside pulling around, but instead of going here, he slips and then provides the seal block there. Just an excellent job by left guard Jace Fuamatu, who had the back-to-back penalties, comes up huge there on that big run.
40 yards on that one for Rivers. Give it to him again. 2 touchdowns, a 40-yard rush. That ties the longest rush of the year by an Aggie opponent.
And that's critical. When we saw this offense marching down the field, they did it with the run game. They were balanced. You take a look at what they did a week ago, 40 rushes to only 28 passes on the road against Hawaii. When this offense is humming, they have to be balanced and feature the run. That last run there by Rivers was huge.
Oh, by the way, the 45-yard gain from Jalen Cropper earlier, that was a pass. Reyna in the pocket, time to throw. There's Cropper again. Cropper puts his foot in the ground and takes it to the end zone. Touchdown, Jalen Cropper. This one 31 yards, and Jalen Cropper did it all.
Ryan Grubb told us, and you mentioned it earlier, that Jalen Cropper's more than just a twitchy guy. It was a great route and great run after the catch with some power and physicality.
Is under further review.
To bring Fresno State to within 4. They're going to check to see if he was down there. But what a physical run. This is the sort of life that in that second quarter really didn't look like was there. Yeah, he's going to come up short. That right knee's down just before Cropper extends his hand. It's going to be his right knee from the other side.
Toyota, let's go places.
Boom. Knees down, ball short. Really nice job of officiating there, and still a heck of an effort by 5.
That appears to be your clear picture.
After reviewing the play, the runner's right knee down at the half-yard line. It'll be first and goal at the half, Fresno State.
Our replay official Tim England gets the clear look he needs. Still a heck of a play by Jalen Cropper.
Incredible. And now they need to finish this drive. The red zone's been one of the things that's been a bit of a challenge for Fresno State as well down here.
And yet tonight, 3 for 3, 3 touchdowns.
See if that trend continues.
Reyna has Hoke in the backfield with him. First and goal. Got a flag prior to first and goal from false start. First and goal inside the 1.
False start, number 80. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That stings.
Juan Rodriguez has got caught tipping. He's on the left side of the line of scrimmage. Inexcusable.
First and goal at the 6.
Those are plays that honestly cost you ball games. The difference between touchdowns and field goals. It's up to Reyna to see if he can make up for that crucial mistake here.
Rivers first and goal. He'll take it. Rivers inside the 5, pushing, touchdown. Bulldogs persevere. Ronnie Rivers with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. So Cropper sets it up with a gain of 31, and then Ronnie Rivers takes it in, giving him 13 total touchdowns on the year, the Mountain West Conference leader. 75 yards in just 5 plays. The PAT is good, and Fresno State is back within 3. Jalen Cropper took it all the way inside the 1, and then Ronnie Rivers with his 3rd touchdown, tying a career high and bringing the Bulldogs back within 3. Aggies lead the Bulldogs, but it's just a 3-point game now. 3:04 to go in the 3rd. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, college hoops. Boston College travels to the Sunshine State to take on USF, only on CBS Sports Network. Had a good chat with Pete Gillen earlier today. It's hoop season. Back to the TD.
Keep your eye on Jared Rice and left tackle Aking Bulu right there. Watch the way that they run their feet and continue to expand the hole. That allows Rivers to keep pushing left and run away from the pursuit there. As you see the frustration, the play before, Juan Rodriguez gets a penalty, take him out, put Rice in, and they score a touchdown right behind him.
10 TDs in the last 5 games now. Ronnie Rivers, 3 tonight. Asa Fuller's kickoff. Scarver will take it from the goal line. Scarver dropped inside the 20 again. Bulldogs have been great on special teams. Evan Williams makes that stop. Jordan Love spinning it.
He has been throwing the football extremely well, locating it where it needs to be, finding Siosi Mariner a couple times. I don't think that this was, that was a good ball on the wheel route there. This is a ball that ends up being lucky. It falls into the hands of Tompkins, but he fumbles it. Good thing that Mariner was running and hustling and coming down, but to your point, Love has been night and day different this week than what we saw him a week ago against BYU at home.
Warren back in the game and running back. Warren last time, 2 possessions ago, had that catch on the wheel route and a touchdown. And Jalen Warren, the junior from Salt Lake City East High School, gets 4 on first down.
That first down run game for the Aggies been humming here most from second, third quarter.
Flag down, multiple flags down, and so that bobble by Love doesn't count.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 64. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Canele Avedano. And again, that's back-to-back drives. We've seen false starts for offensive linemen for this Aggies team.
So 2nd and 11. Love winds up. Love takes a deep shot. Tompkins stretching out, couldn't haul it in. Devin Tompkins had a step on Bryant, but could not stretch for the big gain. 3rd and 11.
This is the big arm, and Jordan Love just throws it a little too far outside the outstretched hands. Tompkins did a nice job of getting inside leverage on Bryant, but here's a 3rd and long opportunity. Still too much space off these receivers. I think they need to play tighter and figure out ways to reroute and take the timing away. Jordan Love had all day long to throw that last pass.
Love, 3rd and 11, pressured, complete, well short of the first down to 25-yard line. Nathan makes the grab. Rice, Hughes, Walker, all there on the stop. Rallying to the football and forcing a 3 and out.
That's what the pressure does to you. It forces the quarterback to take his eyes down. He no longer knows what's going on deep down the field, has to take the underneath throw because of the good coverage behind the pressure up front. The Bulldogs have a chance to return a punt.
Second time Utah State has punted, both after 3 and outs. Only 2 times they haven't scored have been 3 and outs. Ronnie Rivers is back. He'll grab it at the 30-yard line. And Rivers shaking his way with a stiff arm across the 40. Bumped out of bounds, 42. And flags and a scuffle on the sideline. More pushing and shoving at the end of the play. Carter. Looks like Mutu Apuaka made that late hit that'll give likely Fresno State 15 more.
After the play is over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 95 of the kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Can't do it. Can't do it. We saw foolish penalties early on at the end of the first half really be problematic for Fresno. You see Jeff Tedford and everybody react.
Correction, that foul was on number 92. 92.
And you go 3 and out, you get stopped, and now you give Fresno State on the plus side of the 50.
Utah State territory in the 43, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
So the Bulldogs get it on the plus side.
Fresno State, if you're a team that wants to smell blood and win a championship, these are the sorts of situations you have to take advantage of.
Toss Cropper again. That's a completion. There is a flag down as Cropper is ridden out of bounds. We'll check that flag. Would have been the best starting field position for Fresno State even before the penalty, then tack on 15 more. But now we check this flag.
Holding number 27. Offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
So you get it on the plus side, and then you're back across the 50 again.
Well, this is that little flip pass that has worked so well, but the officials are all over it, and once again, Fresno State's marching the wrong way.
3 holds called tonight on Fresno State. We have documented the consequences of the penalties on the Bulldogs. Reyna, 1st and 20. Wow. Rivers goes up to make the catch across the 50-yard line, and he is out of bounds near the 45. Let's check with Jenny.
Well, before this series, Bulldog center Matt Smith, who had a broken fibula last weekend in Hawaii, he was giving his replacement, Tyrone Sampson, some advice, tips, and encouragement here on the sideline. And before the game, guys, Jorge Reyna, he said these two have a brothership that not a lot of people have.
And that was really one of the biggest concerns for Fresno State with all the shuffling on the offensive line was the snaps from the new center, Sampson.
It's so important in the shotgun that the snaps are on time and located because of everything else that's dependent on a timing-based offense.
Reyna, 2nd down, flings it complete, Zane Pope. Dropped at the 39-yard line. Munoz makes the stop. 3rd down coming. We'll see if they want to snap it. Jorge Reyna says, let's take it to the 4th. So Fresno State down by 3, but driving headed to the 4th quarter. We'll begin the 4th with 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
Perfect couple of plays to give themselves a makeable 3rd down. If you're Jeff Tedford, you're loving this situation. And the opportunity that your offense has, given the way that your defense has really had trouble stopping Utah State at times.
Pride of the Valley. Can the Bulldogs come back in the 4th? You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.